The Entrepreneurial Hour is a weekly radio talk show hosted by Stephanie Cates and Robert Gultz that includes local South Florida business owners, subject matter experts, and industry leaders that recognize the need to share their knowledge with other businesses to help them start and grow their business. Join us Tuesday mornings, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, online at Radio Unilatina USA. Follow us on social media at #The Entrepreneurial Hour.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie Cates. I am with Merchant Processing Solutions. I'm a professor here at Unilatina College in Miramar, and I am your host today. My co-host Robert Gultz is unavailable, but I brought my partner in life and my husband Dave Cates. So Dave, say hi to our audience.
Good morning, everyone.
Dave has been in the IT business for a little over 22 years.
Yes.
And knows a little bit about our theme today. He recommends people to speak to subject matter experts about this. So let me give you a little background about our illustrious guest today. This is his second time being on our show.
That's a good thing, right?
Yes. Okay. Well, the reason why we wanted to make sure we came back and we concentrated on you is because when we had you here before, it was about marketing in general. We talked, you were here with Alex Lopez, and he spoke about the print side of marketing. Yep. And you talked about the digital side of marketing. And we thought that was great. But because Alex is a talker and we just never gave you the love that you deserved.
Also, I think when I was here, Patty was with me.
Yes.
I mean, I go all over the place.
Yes. Patty Garcia.
Patty. Amazing Patty.
She is amazing, is right. So today's topic is about websites. Everything you ever need to know about websites. Our guest, Ray, is a subject matter expert in not only the social media, but particularly about websites. So talk to me. How did you get involved? What the name of your company and how you got involved with websites?
Well, I'm excited to be here. So thank you for having me again. So the name of my business is Onset Media. We've always been a video-based company, always. But turns out as we're beginning to do business with video, people would say, hey, when you're done with that, just throw that on my website for me. And the video was amazing. Not that I'm tooting my own horn, but it was great versus what they had, okay? And then turns out that when I put the video on the website, or I tried to, it would overcome the entire website because the website was either, it's just too small or too big or just all over the place. And then that kind of forced me to kind of learn more about that industry. So, and I had no choice but be forced into it. Mm-hmm. So, and then I actually partnered with somebody to actually do it for me. So I didn't want to get into the web world or the digital world. I wanted just a video world. But the reliability of some people wasn't there.
Right.
So, and when you hire people outside of, say, my industry, then you're getting people that they think they're subject matter experts, but they're not. So now you're correcting all their mistakes, yet I'm paying them. I'm like, wait a second. Yeah. So ultimately, I want to deliver the customer something that was phenomenal, great, and everlasting. Because when you do video, it's everlasting. And then I realized the website is just as important because that's the presence. So, and I've learned that as I went on, and now we're going into our 8th. Actually, we just made 8 years, September, right? Oh, wow! Hey, woo-hoo.
Congratulations! Yeah, happy anniversary!
So on. So realizing the entire process, I didn't know that you needed to know all these components of this whole marketing, video, digital world, and I've learned that, and I just had to go deeper, train, deeper, train. It's like, when you're sharing on all the social media, you're training yourself, you're making sure that you become, I don't want to say a subject matter expert, I just know a lot, right? And I try to learn more and more and more every day because it's changing literally daily. And guess what? To stay on top of it, you have to always be on top of what's happening.
So, Dave, how many times have we heard from some of the customers you've had and I have that, my son's working on our website and...
Don't ever work with family.
Well, and that's number one. But two, Why would you go to somebody? So let me just understand.
Yes,
a
please,
peon
please.
here with the websites.
Please.
Your website is pretty much your digital footprint. It means I exist. Here I am. This is who I represent. This is my vision. This is my mission. It's almost like an X-ray of you and your business and your staff and everything. So why would you allow your kid or your wife or someone else to portray that? Are there really that good of programs that would allow somebody to talk to me about these people that do it on their own?
So let me tell you what happens. Right. So there's some amazing commercials that's produced by Wix. So it's produced by GoDaddy or iPage and all these builders or Shopify. Guess what? Someone can literally do a website. I mean, they can. It may not be the one you're looking at, the one you want, but it's definitely doable. All these drag and drop, even on WordPress, it make it possible for you to create something. Now, let me just backtrack a little bit, talking about your profile. Let's say, again, back in the day, we had something called a resume, and we still have a resume. We have a job, we kind of go and hand in a resume. Well, that resume exists, but what that person who's looking at your profile, they're going to now look at a website called LinkedIn. It's a website. Let me look at this guy's profile. Let me see what he is. Let me see his connections. That literally is something that we in the digital world call the citation. So those citations kind of give you more authority. So again, all these things that occur in your profile, your resume is now online. That piece of paper is just a piece of paper versus the next step, which is doing that search.
Well, your expertise is verified or not, you know, so you need to make sure that information that is there is accurate.
Yes.
And, like you said, a resume. People can now fact check you very quickly.
Yes.
And if you're in a business, you want to put your best foot forward.
Absolutely.
And here's the other side. We all want, especially millenniums, X, Ys, they all want their friends to know every single thing they do.
Yes.
And so they have they have Instagram, they have Facebook, they have all of this. And unless you've got a private Facebook and I think a private Instagram and Twitter account, pretty much everything you do or what people take pictures of you doing can be there. When I was with a major corporation, we were supposed to all go to this company meeting, and I was told that I was going to be meeting a new guy that was going to show up. The day before was like a Saturday, Sunday. It was on a Monday. Monday morning on the way to this event, my boss called me and says he won't be here. And I go, why? And he goes, well, apparently he likes to do bongs on weekends.
Wow.
So he was filmed at a party smoking marijuana, which is, by the way, legal in the state of Colorado, however, it was a corporation throughout the United States. So they went by federal standards. Sure. So this guy, the entire offer was rescinded for his job. So what you put out there on social media. So now, why is a website so important? In my opinion, it's exactly that same reason. Yes. If it looks like a piece of crap, maybe your company's a piece of crap. Oh, did I say that like that? That's pretty harsh.
And I hate to I meet with people literally all week long, right? Uh-huh. And these people, these DIYers, hey, I can do it myself. And what I tell them is, I'm literally the guy that says, you know what? Good luck. If you have any questions, feel free to call. Answers are free. If you have a question, I'll answer. I won't do it for you, but I'll give you some kind of insight because this is what I do all day long. You text me, you call me, and literally people try. People don't have the budget. And I believe me, I remember not having that budget. So I kind of turn around and I have a system like currently today. If I have any churches that currently have no website, zero, I give them one at no charge.
Wow.
Nice.
Why? Because again, there's no reason why you can find a pornographic site so easily, but yet a church is so hard. Right. So I'm saying this literally on radio. Guess what? If you're a church and you have zero website, reach out to me. There's nothing attached to it. You don't have to host with me. You don't have to buy the domain with me. Not at all. I will walk you through that process because it's very important to me. So it's not even about the dollar because literally that website is just one thing that goes on the information highway. So it's a billboard.
Right.
So again, that billboard.
And that's part of your commitment to what you feel inside. Okay. Yeah, and that's terrific.
So, and again, so it's just giving that opportunity of that business, church, or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. Hey, you need to be online. Mm-hmm. There's no mistakes. There's something called Google My Business. So what Google My Business is a platform that is, let me say it because I love this word, it's free. Google gives something to people for free, business owners. So I always encourage when they tell me I have no budget, the first thing I say, well, let's talk about what you could do with no budget. And I kind of direct them and let them know, because what happens with that, it's happened time and time again. Mm-hmm. They call me 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, says, Ray, thank you for your help. I am ready to begin. Let's get a website. Let's do some digital marketing. Let's do some Google ads and so on. They're coming back to me just because I sowed that seed. So I'm big about sowing a seed in fellowship. Big.
And kudos to you, because not a lot of people do that. And I know that that's something that is important. Now, again, who needs a website? Seriously, does everybody who has a business need a website, or are there some businesses that, no, they really like? Does is the shrink blah blah Dr. blah blah need one, and does the auto mechanic blah blah need one? I mean, I know they're different.
Yep, great question. So, does everyone need a website? Well, in my world, I'd say yes. Okay, because a digital listing, maybe it's a LinkedIn profile, that's a website. So again, a resume now these days are no longer given by paper. A page is created for a website.
So again, you've answered pretty much everybody should have some type of digital. And you say that as an individual, yep, LinkedIn is a great source.
Absolutely,
for me, yes, as a professional.
Yes.
But what about people saying, "Oh, I don't need a website. I've got a Facebook page."
Right. So, and I hear that a lot.
Oh my gosh. But
let me tell you, sometimes I get those people. I get them. I respect them. Okay. Then I say, well, if you're going to have a Facebook page and that's going to be the source of your business, make sure it's optimized. And then they go, huh? What do you mean?
Exactly.
So if you're going to have a Facebook page as a representative of your company, guess what? When you hand someone a card at a location, that person's going to kind of look you up, look to see what you do, and then go to your website, whatever it may be. If you're okay with saying Facebook /business, then guess what? That's going to be, that's your business. That's your profile. So now I'm sitting back and saying, okay, so what's a priority for this person? I understand it's a budget. It's always a budget. And I always respect budgets. So I don't go in there and says, well, your website's going to cost you $1 million. No. I ask the question of what's your budget? Why? Because ultimately what they want customers. They want people to kind of determine, hey, I need to get business. Mm-hmm. So I realized that it's not just about, you can spend $1, you can spend $10, you can spend $1,000, whatever you can spend. But overall, ultimately it's about, is it working? So what I do, I bring that flavor into to make sure that it is operating at 100% at an optimum level. Let's say if it's not, well, you'll know because you're getting your analytics.
So again, going back to that question, sure, who needs one? And I just said the shrink, I was online looking for a doctor, a dentist when we first moved here. If they didn't have their office and themselves showing their face on the internet, we didn't go to them. Yep. I just thought I'm not sure who you are, then you might be a fraud. Right. Isn't that crazy that now internet substantiates what we feel about our
which
people?
It makes it a great industry. So it's
go ahead, finish your thought.
So it just makes it a great industry to be in. Mm-hmm. When I'm able to provide you with something that's going to look really good for you online, and you're going to provide a great service, guess what? We're both selling what we need to sell. I'm making sure that you are found, and you are making sure that you look good when they find you.
Oh, good. Can you make me look a few inches taller and a few pounds less? No, only kidding. That's a video.
Yes, that is a video.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a short break right now, and you are listening to the Entrepreneurial Hour with our guest, Ray Torres from Onset Media. Thanks, Ray. Oh.
The Entrepreneurial Hour with Stephanie Cates and Robert
Goltz. International College with a campus in Miramar, Florida, is a boutique college with an applied, cutting-edge holistic education model. Business, tourism, and communication students not only develop their field intellectual skills, but also are empowered to become holistic professionals through yoga, self-empowerment, Tai Chi courses, and more. Sign up to become a holistic professional at unilatina.edu. or call 954-607-4344.
Uni Latina International College offers an English as a second language program for international students. UIC's high qualified ESL teachers help students develop and master the English speaking and comprehension skills needed for both work and pleasure. Our ESL program also focuses on cultural adaptation through fun-filled trips and cultural experiences. Start your journey today at unilatina.edu/ESL or call 954-607-4344.
The Entrepreneurial Hour, shining light on the Tri-Chamber members.
Welcome back to the Entrepreneurial with my co-host Dave Cates and Ray Torres. Dave, you were actually asking something, starting to ask something to Ray when we left for the break. Why don't you go ahead and ask him now, please?
Yeah, Ray, in your opinion, what is the most important components of a website?
So the plan is, the foundation is very important. So in other words, when someone comes up to me and says, hey, I need a website, I ask them the purpose of it. And of course, it's always, I want to market to my product, I want to market to the world, I want people to know my story. So again, when I find out the specifics of what the goal is, and that's where I start kind of going a little bit deeper. So I make sure that it's created on a perfect platform where they can make any edits if necessary. So let me repeat that again. So when I create websites, I give them the ability, they own it. So I don't own it. I give them the rights to it. And I show them the basic functions and how to make an adjustment.
What? You mean some of these people keep that website?
You mean forever? Literally, they actually have their website for them. I mean, it's not a lease program. It's a buy.
It's a buy program.
No. But I mean, there's other people, there's other web developers that you pay somebody to develop it and they still own it?
Many. Yes. Unfortunately, Shopify is a phenomenal platform, but you don't own the site. When you don't pay that bill, guess what? Your website.
Oh my Lord! Oh, so you're talking about those kinds? Yeah, we have that in merchant services with some of those companies too.
Wix is a phenomenal platform. It's great. They've enhanced a lot of stuff, but it's not yours. It belongs to someone else.
Oh,
So literally, you're paying a monthly fee, and it's a very low cost fee, but the site's not yours. So you have access to the back end and all that great stuff. But when you stop paying that, whatever it is with them, you literally,
or they stop paying, they stop being available for one reason,
well,
SEC, or they get bought out, or
yeah. So
wow,
that's why people,
ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Make sure you own that website, guys.
And how can they know? Like, they don't know. Like, for example, there's something, it's public knowledge, guys. This is nothing, no wizardry I'm giving you guys. There's something called a website. It's called who.is. Who.is. So when someone says, hey, Ray, I want to have a website done, and I have a domain, I look at that domain, and 7 out of 10 customers that have come up to me that don't know, and I feel bad for them. That domain is not owned by them. It's owned by someone else, the person who set it up for them.
Right.
And that information is public knowledge. So if you have your Aunt Gertrude, you're using her card, her email, guess what? That's going to show up for wherever you're at, because people like me can see that. And then those people say, hey, this is what I own. I paid for it about 10 years ago, whatever have you. I paid whatever I paid, because it's only $20 for the year.
It's minimal charge.
Yeah, actually, we found that out when we were.
Unfortunately,
Here I am. I do the marketing for Merchant Processing Solutions, and we get this little nasty gram from GoDaddy saying, you have 20 days left. Your domain will be, I'm like, Yamalette, what's going on here? And she goes, I don't know what's going on. Well, we found out exactly that one of not the current, not the previous, but the very first web person put that website into their name and not hers, and they've fallen off, and their credit card doesn't exist anymore.
And I
don't know.
Tell you a story, a quick story. I promise. Is so one company came up to me and says, hey, I want to get a website. I've owned this. I've had this domain, so on. Can you look it up? I looked it up. I looked up the business XYZ, and then the XYZ has is not available because it's purchased by someone else. So in other words, they don't own that name. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, you can reach out to that person and say, hey, guess what? I want to buy that domain. The person was selling the domain for more than $2,000 just for that name that was owned. They thought it was owned by them because this person registered it for them back then. That happens all the time.
It's a business.
So what happens? I come in the door and I'm like, how can I help?
Yeah.
And again, I feel bad. Of course we all have to eat, right? And I try to figure out, how can I make this work for you, and we can kind of work as a team, because the website is just a platform. Everything else, the marketing is right behind it. And again, so now there's a relationship being built with everything, because all that information is like, oh, can you please help me? And I try my best. So the foundation comes with, hey, let's make sure we get the proper information. What's the offer? What's the goal? And there's something that's very important when it comes to websites, right? There's something called keywords. So what a keyword is, if I'm selling school, right, or college, I want to make sure I put those class courses in my website, because that's a keyword. And people don't realize what they miss out on. And again, back to that free word. Google has a tool. It's called the keyword tool. And that tool kind of gives you the ability to get those keywords, because they want you to spend money in Google Ads, of course. But these are tools that help people and businesses get found without even leaving your home. So it's called optimizing. So again, so I'm the guy that gives the people all this information, and they say, oh, wow, Ray, I can do it. And they try to do it, and they come back, Ray, can you help me?
So you've touched upon it a little bit,
Sure.
About ring, ring. Hi, Ray. I was referred to you. I'm interested in doing a website. What's step number 1?
Yep.
What's step number 2? Walk me through the 5 to 10 steps that we need to do from concept to, idea, concept, and through the finished product.
So the first question I ask is, let's talk about your business. Well, tell me about your business so I can understand about it. See what we're trying to achieve, trying to sell a product. We're trying to get more people involved, or just be informational. So how are you going to market this website? Mm-hmm. And have 20 minutes. You have 5 minutes to say, hey, check out my website. So you get that concept down. Then you look at images. To what kind of images are going to be displayed? Your personal, or am I going to get images myself? And the images that professional, there's copyrighted images. So in other words, they shouldn't be stealing any images from Google. It's really easy. It's really
easy to steal.
It's so easy to steal. It's amazing. And people don't realize this because they don't know. All they know is I want a website. I need an image. Google Images. Guess what? I get it for free. So the reason why we pay for images on a monthly to yearly basis is because they're copyrighted. So if anyone comes back and says, hey, guess what? Pay me for that royalty, because now you're Walmart, they can sue you. They literally can. So, and then we talk about the
Okay.
And Worlds, I'm a designer, because the logo.
But you could use somebody's existing if they really, if that's their brand.
So once I see the logo, I work with that design platform.
How do you work with it? Do you work with the colors? Do you work?
I look with the font, and I kind of make sure that it flows correctly, because normally when you have a logo, there's more to it than just the logo, unfortunately, sometimes. And you have to kind of go down to making sure that everything speaks. So when you look at a logo, you're looking at the contents being displayed. It has to be similar in a way where it's going to complement the entire website. So I know it's kind of hard to explain, but this is just where in my world.
No, but it's kind of like McDonald's.
Yes.
Or Walgreens. You walk in and you see something that's familiar. So therefore you're very secure in knowing you trust that. Yep. And that's part of the design is you want that become familiar. Somebody sees the color, and that's the first thing they think of your client.
That's exactly right.
Or a triangle in something.
So I wouldn't use Walgreens. I use Pillbox. Perfect example.
Right. Steve.
So it's like it's a perfect. Wow. All the information that they provide, and guess what? And Walgreens doesn't have it, or CVS doesn't have it. That's the hit.
Yes.
So going back to that. So after the logo, once it's all. We know the layout. We kind of give us somewhat of let me tell you what the plan is with the customer to break it down as far as logo, contact, all the information that's going to be provided on the website, the actual pages, FAQs, about us, all the information that should be provided about the industry. Mm-hmm. And then we go ahead and look and we try to customize a form. So in other words, what that means is, how normally you go to a website, it's a contact form. That's normal, right? So what we do is we kind of try to customize. So when you get that contact submission back from that person, whoever's doing a search or you've met, that it has all your answers. So you customize those things. So it does more work for you because sometimes it doesn't do as much for you. It just
it's very generic. Yeah,
very generic. So those are things
basic. And like you said, answering questions, getting that information, it gives you a lot more to start with, so that you as the owner can come in there and impress the potential customer with their knowledge.
And so with that layout alone is where we start. So again, we talk about domain and hosting, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a few minutes. So that domain name, we're going to make sure we attach it to your current brand new website, and you put a coming soon page, so you and everyone else is excited that you're coming. So what happens when you have a coming soon page? Well, guess what? Do we tell these things called Google bots to go check you out? We say, no, not yet. Google bots exist. So there's Google bots everywhere, literally. So they're here right now. So again, and that's part of the indexing portion of a website as well.
Well, you've used words indexing Google bots.
I'm so sorry.
It's way over my head here.
So sorry.
But I have some real layman questions. Okay. I go to a website and I look at this website and, it's really pretty. It's got a nice picture. And then you kind of start going to the right and another one behind it comes forward. And it's like this gradual change of pictures. And as you go, things kind of, it's almost like psychedelic, but it's smooth and you're like, wow, that's kind of neat. I see that in a lot of nonprofits or medical and things like that. And then you see the ones that are kind of boxy and you have to click things and move. I actually find those a little bit more helpful sometimes. And then the translation, I have to say, some of the translations, like my church translates their website to mobile. OMG, it loses a lot of impact when that happens.
Good point. So part of the foundation of any website is we try to look at the layout. Would be the mobile version as well. So all the websites that we provide are all mobile responsive to all the devices. So just making sure that the layout stays the same and the call to action is right, included in every page that they visit, because realize someone's looking at a site on the mobile device, they Googled it, came up, let me look, I need this item, so on. So we got to put those call to actions easily accessible throughout the site. So that's part of the process of you building the foundation of the website. So in this day and age, we should not have a separate mobile to a separate desktop. That does exist.
Oh, wow.
And it's still something that's offered. Yes.
I noticed that in email advertisements and
it's
so on.
amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Major corporations, they're still doing that.
Yeah, and again, some people still buy. I mean, some people just don't know.
Exactly.
So then I come along and says, hey, wait a second.
Well, why wouldn't they know? They've got a staffer that's doing it, and the staffer says, this is job security if I've got both of these to maintain. Wake up, folks.
Right. So I'm the one that just, I'm normally, it's like a party, right? So you have an event coming up, and normally some people just hire that DJ at last minute. That's one of the most important components of any event.
Exactly.
And the DJ is like, well, you know what? Hey, guess what? I haven't got a DJ yet. Wait a second.
We're not coming until we know. Yeah.
So those things, but again, unfortunately, it happens where I'm set back, and after the investment has been put in, hey, I've put so much money into this, and this is where I'm at. This is what I have. Can you do this? I can try my best.
Yes. Right. Let me place my plastic surgery knife on here, and let's see what we can do to save it. And again, it probably costs more for you to fix something that is a debacle than.
So people normally would come up and say, hey, look at my site, see what you can do to my site. I'm like, okay, great. I can look at that. So just think about you hiring a contractor. You just hired one. Now you have someone else coming on top of that saying, oh, I could just fix the aesthetics of it. No one wants that. People want to make sure that it operates when you leave and you've paid money to that other person. Is everything 100% perfect? Well, I don't know. You wanted me just to kind of make it look good. You didn't say anything else, So again, I've actually turned people down and said, you know what? It's best for you to get someone else. And I prefer to go in there and redo it whole.
Right.
So,
well, you are listening to the Entrepreneurial Hour. We will be back after these presentations.
The Entrepreneurial Hour with Stephanie Cates and Robert Goltz.
International College with campus in Miramar, Florida is a boutique college with an applied, cutting-edge, holistic education model. Business, tourism, and communication students not only develop their field intellectual skills, but are also empowered to become holistic professionals and human beings through yoga, self-empowerment, holistic human development courses, and more. Sign up to become a holistic professional at unilatina.edu or call 954-607-4344.
The Entrepreneurial Hour, shining light on the Tri-Chamber members.
Hey Maria, congrats on graduating. Must feel good to be done with school.
Yeah, well it is, but I still have to pass the NCLEX test in order to get a job.
Okay, well, is the test difficult?
Extremely, and I've already taken it 3 times and still can't pass it.
What seems to be your major issue with the test?
I don't know, maybe I don't have the right training, or I don't really understand how to study for the test. And I really want to start working as a nurse. It's so frustrating.
UniLatina International College is now offering a comprehensive NCLEX RN prep course guided by expert trainer Dr. Juan Carlos Ramirez. Finally achieve success and start your nursing career today. Learn more at unilatina.edu.
Welcome back to the Entrepreneurial Hour. You just heard a commercial about Unilatina, and I want to remind our business listeners and all of our listeners worldwide that Latina offers not only English classes, English prep classes for exams, but a full associate and bachelor's programs here. If you have family relatives that would like to come to the United States, they, as a student, they would need to reach out to the college admissions. They would help them get a student visa and come here to the United States to study. So this is within reach of many of you. If you have someone here in the States that for some reason has decided they would like to study, but they just are here on a tourist visa, they need to have at least a month left on their tourist visa, come to the college, speak to the admissions office, and see if they can't help them. With that being said, we just want to give a plug for our host, our radio host here, Unilatina International College. Ray, let's talk a little bit about, we talked about the beginning purposes of websites, but I've told you that personally, because of merchant services, which is payment acceptance, we work with a lot of web developers like yourself to set up businesses that are going to accept payment, whether it's a one button, whether they have a big comprehensive shopping cart, or a variety, donate now, etc. Can you talk to me not only about e-commerce sites and the intricacies, but what if you just want like a bookmark on the informational highway, or the other ones that you were talking about, what's called Wix, WikiWix, whatever that's called.
So every site out there, like on the informational highway, would be it's based off a CMS, a content management system, and that's WordPress. That could be Wix, it could be a PHP, it could be Joomla, all these different
WordPress.
Okay. So those are all
different services. Is what they are.
Yeah. So they literally content management systems to help you manage the process of the website.
So what do they give you, like little templates to put your stuff in? And
so WordPress is one of the most powerful engines because of the fact that it's very very popular here in America, and it gives you so much more opportunity to reach people on a bigger level than most platforms outside of PHP. Now, PHP are the things that literally people do not speak the language, and they start writing, and then they say, here's your website, and you say, well, I want to change that picture. Well, I have to do it via code. So that was the older way. So again, but that's the, again, we all want to make sure that that all the websites speak the main language. Do you guys know what that main language is? It's actually the language of Google. Google, Bing, and Yahoo, Google, Bing.
The big search.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you speak their language. So when they send a Google bot out there to kind of do let me get the information to the person that's doing search. So to answer your question, the different CMSs matter in this in this function. So a WordPress website gives you the opportunity to add these plugins. A plugin is, think about your car. You go buy a car, and not to say that Shopify or Wix, they have something similar, but not as powerful as WordPress. I'm a big WordPress guy, or we can do others as well, but other people may sit in this chair and say something differently. But I say I'm big on WordPress. I've done certification to WordPress, so I love WordPress. Being that said, being so powerful, there's a lot of bad stuff with that as well. WordPress is the number one CMS that can be hacked.
Oh,
so again, that being said, it's a gateway that opens up. So it can work phenomenal, but also can be suspect to
exposure.
A lot. Yes, if you don't keep it updated and maintained.
And what kind of exposure? And I'm going to jump in here. So let's just assume that you do have WordPress and you are a nonprofit. Somebody created this for you, and you have this little form on there that says, please donate. And you fill in the form, and it says, put your credit card here and do this or do that. And that's, that is called non-PCI compliance. That is actually putting people's credit information or any information out there, which could be hacked via the internet or someone's
and
computer.
That's why they went with SSL. SSL is such a huge,
which is security socket layer, which is
an encryption.
Okay.
Language.
Right. Exactly. So those things, what can happen is someone from any country, anyone who codes, who's a hacker, can get into your site by trying about your passwords 5 to 25 to 5,000 times. If they get in, they can actually take and mirror your site, put it in the Philippines, use your information, and steal your information. So every time someone that say you do a sale with whatever, you can that bank account could be false and go to their account. It's happened.
Oh, gosh.
It's happened so many times.
Oh, and it continues to happen.
Yes, and then there's something else called malware. So what happens is viruses exist, in the internet world. Norton virus, they had something going for them a long time ago, and so these little CMSs matter to what you're going to put in there to it to operate. And some are great, some are not. So with that being said, WordPress have a hosting provider, and they're for America, they're big, and they're the largest in the country, in the USA. So with that being said, they are the ones that confirm that to make sure the security of your website is confirmed and is essential. So, and what I'm trying to kind of convey is that they provide all the not loopholes, the direction on what you need to do to make sure you keep everything secure.
Well, and Ray,
sure,
because you use a gateway for your payment processor. A gateway, everyone, just so that you know, is the moment I go to I say I'm going to make a donation to a nonprofit, or I'm going to pay now an invoice, or it literally goes through another pipeline to a secure, encrypted third-party company that has done millions and millions of dollars in back-end security. So the moment that form opens, it's not on your website.
No.
It's not even on the person's computer, except through that.
Right.
It looks like it's there, but it's not. And you can fill it in all you want. And then when you hit pay now or whatever, done, or save, it goes out through there. And that is what is the saving grace for e-commerce right now. The people that do that now.
Let me just say something. I mean, the e-commerce is a big deal because people don't only think that Bank of America, Wells Fargo are the only resources out there.
Right.
And again, I want to say, and at first I thought the same thing.
That's
trying to figure things out.
That's the image they're portraying.
And they're good at it.
Yes.
But they're not really good at the other stuff.
Right. They're good at advertising.
Yes, they're very good at advertising. So we need to always make sure we find a subject matter expert for that item. Not just, let me just go to my bank and get a merchant processing account. Right. Because you don't know how much they're taking from you.
Well, and that is true. That is true. But again, they also have an agenda where they may not be looking at, Ray, you on one hand may want some certain features that with your website go out and allow your customers to go pay an invoice or go just make a recurring payment or set up something So that's your need.
Yep.
Some companies, like a large bank, has a customer that basically for them, they want to just sell you a machine and be done and move on because it's the quick wham, bam, done, I'm out of here.
Yep.
Whereas other companies are going to be more comprehensive. But then there's the people that are like scared. Oh, yeah. I can go to PayPal and I can see what I'm going to pay, 3.75 and 15 cents. Yeah, I got to go in and move my money. Takes a couple of days, but at least I know exactly what I'm going to be paying.
Right.
So a lot of people want to go to PayPal. The problem is, how many times has PayPal been breached in the last 18 months?
3-4 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the problem is they're now starting to crack down because all they really want to do business with is your customer has to then create a PayPal account,
Right.
put their credit card in there, and only through that pipeline does PayPal really want to do business.
Wow. I wasn't aware.
So it's a problem.
Wow.
And so the more you haven't heard CyberSource being hacked or Authorize.net or USAE Pay or
Right.
some of the big dogs out there. You haven't heard that,
not at all.
but you've heard about PayPal.
Right.
You've heard about these. So when you talk e-commerce on my end as a merchant processor, you got to be careful.
Sure.
Because guess what, Ray? If somebody knocks on your doors and said, we just found out that the credit card that was sent to your website was hacked by your website,
Mm-hmm.
you're now responsible for all the expenses that were done.
That's right.
20, 30, 40, $100,000.
Goodness.
And guess what? You're closing your doors and you're out of business.
And people don't realize that the world of the internet. So what's happened with, let's say, affiliate marketing websites. So what that means is, let's say, for example, I go to Amazon, Walmart, all those companies literally have affiliate links. So every time someone clicks on that link and you have it hosted somewhere, wherever, you get $1. That's another type of websites that are available out there. So I tell you, this world is everlasting, ever going. So, and there's so many different content management systems to work out of. Again, I don't frown upon any of them. Again, I use WordPress because it seems to be it's been working phenomenal for me so far, and I still have my customers that do choose to use Shopify as well as other content management systems. But yet, all my control is with WordPress 100% versus the other ones. Gotcha.
So we've spent some time speaking about I just want a professional website. I want to look good. So you're saying that LinkedIn's probably something that's very affordable, very professional. What's the problem with LinkedIn? Why aren't more people on it? Why doesn't it look as professional?
I can tell you.
Go ahead.
People don't know. So since they don't know, and again, people like to work with what they know.
Okay.
So I got a call the other day to create a Facebook page for them. So, you know what? Sure, no problem. I'll create it. I won't charge you anything. It's that simple. Okay, no problem. I'll show them how. For me to take that same time on LinkedIn, it's a little bit more time consuming. All your information on there. I too haven't optimized my LinkedIn profile.
Oh, wait a minute. What word did you just use?
I too
Optimize.
Yes.
Do you know that I've gone and looked at some people that I used to work with, and they're still showing they worked with that company, and they've been gone for 2 years.
And LinkedIn,
I'm like, seriously, guys, you can't go in and spend once a month to update your LinkedIn?
So let me tell you what LinkedIn, websites, Facebook, all these different social networks do. So they provide you a digital footprint, and those digital footprints are all called citations. So if you were to take a minute and put someone's phone number on Google, you'll see their information. Now, if you don't see no information, guess what? Your digital footprint is not very so on. So, all these things. So, Yelp is a website. It's a phenomenal website. If you want to get reviews, go to Yelp. But I always encourage, go to Google and Facebook and Fourspace. There's so many different other ones, but you want to always mess with the big ones. Always. Believe it or not, but Bing still exists.
Don't hear much about him, but
don't. But you know what? You know who uses Bing today? The older generation.
Right.
I don't know why.
Oh, wait a minute.
I
don't know. Yeah.
Tell us why.
There you go.
He's an IT guy.
It's because of Microsoft.
Yes.
They use Microsoft browsers.
I love my Microsoft.
And
I'm a
that's
Mac
what
guy.
they're comfortable.
And you're what?
I'm a Mac guy. I love my Mac.
my kids are Macs.
I love
too.
my Mac.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so those things. But exactly right. So it's like, wow, how things just change.
Our producer's a Mac girl over there too. She loves her Mac. Yes, she's always like, "I'm going to send here. You just do this." I'm like,
You just send
I
a
don't even
message
know
to your
that
phone.
program. That must be a
I get
Mac
a text
program.
message. It goes on my computer. I'm like, this is great. Let me reply on my computer. I
Wow.
love it. But it's just amazing what has occurred. So Bing still exists for many businesses. It's a huge conglomerate of opportunity to rank.
And just listeners out there, I know it's for the older generation. What's the largest population group of population in the United States still?
Is it still
The baby boomers.
Is it still
The baby
Yeah.
boomers.
I hear
We
the
are
millennials
still the
are-
largest. So stop discounting us.
You know, there's a new generation. Generation Z, I think it's called.
Yeah, the millennial. Yeah, the Z. And they're going to be huge because everybody in the world's pregnant right now.
Wow.
Like this woman over here, she's popped out a few during that generation too. So my daughter has, my son has.
Right,
So
right,
yes,
right.
all the millenniums and the X and Ys are popping out.
Millennials.
Yeah, the millennials. So they're going to be huge. I agree. But right now we still dominate. So there. All right. We're going to take our last break of the afternoon, the morning. So thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Awesome. Okay, we'll kind of see what we're missing. I think we can.
Unilatina International College with campus in Miramar, Florida is a boutique college with focus on entrepreneurship. UIC offers associate and bachelor degree programs in business, tourism, and communications and media. Associate degree students develop their business plan while studying at UIC. Dream, learn, and grow. Join now our business incubator. Learn more at unilatina.edu or call 954-607-4344.
The Entrepreneurial Hour is sponsored by the Miramar Pembroke Pines Regional Chamber of Commerce, the Western Florida Chamber of Commerce, and the Pembroke Park Chamber of Commerce. The Entrepreneurial Hour is a weekly radio talk show hosted by Stephanie Cates and Robert Gultz that includes local South Florida business owners, subject matter experts, and industry leaders that recognize the need to share their knowledge with other businesses to help them start and grow their business. Join us Tuesday mornings, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, online at Radio Unilatina USA. Follow us on social media at #The Entrepreneurial Hour.
Well, welcome back. Thank you again, Ray Torres from Onset Media, talking to us today about websites, and Dave Cates from DC Computer and Technologies. Thank you for bringing your insight. Is there anything that you wanted to ask Ray?
Ray, I know, but for our listeners out there, give me kind of a ballpark as to what an individual can expect for the development of a website and then the maintenance of a website, because they're not maintenance free.
That's right.
Especially if you're using it in a business.
That's right. So it's all dependent on when someone comes up to me and says, "Hey, I want a website," so they can actually pay $0 a month. Let me say it again: $0 a month for the services that are provided, but nothing's going to happen. An actual website can cost from $500 all the way up to about $2,000 to $3,000, depending on what we're doing.
$2,000 to $3,000?
$2,000 to $3,000.
I actually heard in the last 6 months somebody say that they were considering a website being developed for close to $25,000. I said, "How big is it?" And he goes, "Oh, it's like 4 pages." I went, "What are you talking about?" So can there really be something that intricate for 4 pages?
So sometimes you go to Miami Beach and the homes over there for some reason are more expensive. I don't know.
We wouldn't live there, would we?
So for some reason, there's more stuff that's going on in the back end than anything else. So, and that determines the labor that's going to be placed upon the site that's going to be launched.
Oh,
so it's more little.
So it doesn't really have how many pages you have.
So
it's like what you want
that's
done.
why when you're laying out the foundation, what are we doing? Well, we're just taking this site and putting it here. I want a new website. Just keep my old stuff. That's normally not the case.
Yeah. Okay.
I want it to be nice. I want it to be optimized. I want it to make sure that, guess what? When someone goes there, they have a phenomenal experience, because that's the goal.
Yes.
That's
Experience,
the goal.
wow.
Experience the goal. So with that being said, it can be very expensive. It can be. So when I'm having these conversations with many organizations, we talk about, okay, what's the budget? And why do I ask the budget? So I can exactly see and know what to propose. And sometimes it's I don't have a lot of money. I need a website. I just need a site to be put up there. And I provide a website that where they be able to work with, live with, and be able to update with as well. Let's say, hey, Ray, now it's time for me to upgrade what I currently have. Well, guess what? I'm here to give you that assistance. So again, I would never, ever, ever say, hey, guess what? You need to get the most expensive website. That'd be great. But you know what? I want to make sure, one thing about me and my business, it's very relational, so I keep relationships. So the trust factor has to be there.
Very important.
We provide hosting, and you having a problem with your website, you normally call Ray before anyone else.
And that's the same with merchant processing.
Yes.
You have the problem, you call Stephanie, Claudia, Yamalet. And so that's what I was going to ask you. You don't send this stuff to Colombia or China or India.
So I have my own server. I have a server in USA.
Whoa.
But that being said, there's going to be a fee that you're going to pay on a monthly basis for me to be able to manage that on an ongoing basis.
Is that called the hosting?
That's called the hosting.
Woo, I got a word.
Just so you know, people can buy hosting for maybe it's $75 for the year, $60 for the year, which I offer.
Mm-hmm.
But then when they call me up and say, hey, guess what? We need to make sure that, something is what's going on with that. And if it's my hosting, I'm going to make sure I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But now when you want these, because every time someone calls me, hey, Ray, not for nothing, I don't have that offer anymore. Can you make that adjustment? Sure. Let me tell you what it's going to cost you versus having that monthly or that quarterly fee, which can range between $15.95 to $24.95, even as much as $50.95, $50. Again, all dependent on what they're looking for. Every customer has their specifics that they want. Hey, I want every 3 months. I have the special offer. I know the Christmas is coming.
Whoa. You're saying that price has to do with something that they do to the website? But I already paid you for that website. It's on the internet, sitting there, shining beacon.
Beautiful.
I'm here. It's beautiful. Ray made it. But what happens?
But now I want to, my prices have changed on my hair done. Now to get my hair done, my hair salon, and I need to update that price. Well, I'll show you how to do it. And chances are when I show someone, hey, Ray.
Can you just do it?
Yeah. Hey, Ray, by the way, we have a new logo. Can you? I love to.
You have to keep that up. It doesn't just osmosisly go ahead and just do its thing.
Some people have this belief that guess what? Let me tell you another thing, which is weird regarding the citations of different websites. Hey, guess what? I have a new phone number that I was able to buy from Patricia. Now I have a new number that I'm going to incorporate to my new business. Why doesn't it appear on my website anymore? What's going on? Wait, why all my citations show my old number? Well, guess what? That's part of the process of updating your information. That's part of the monthly SEO, because that's very big on SEO. Search engine optimization.
Oh my Lord! Now, that's like a whole hour on its own, isn't it? So you can't just pay to have a website and then it sits there beautiful, beacon shining. You've got to maintain it.
You have to maintain it. So again, some people don't. But let me tell you what happens.
This is so confusing.
Let's say, for example, we have a website. Oh, the website looks beautiful. Great. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Now what? So it sits there. Yeah. It sits in a place. Google has a name for it. It's called the sandbox. Why do they call it the sandbox? So the reason why they call it the sandbox, because it has, now think about this. You guys are the brand new people on the block. Everyone's looking at you and saying, who are you? We don't know you. Look, how good are you? Can we trust you? Google does the same thing. So the rankings, the authority. So let's say, for example, there's a member of the Chamber of Commerce, okay, in Weston, Chamber of Commerce, or Miramar, which are my chambers, right? If they have a membership, they can literally put a badge a badge on their website, which the chamber provides you with membership. And just so you know, in the SEO world, that is worth the membership. Just so everyone is aware, that is worth the membership. Why? Because that badge provides authority to Mama Google. Google's a mama, by the way. So Mama says, hey, guess what? Okay, these guys are connected to a government entity. Again, because so many businesses and the Chamber of Commerce in the country trust. Mm-hmm. It gives it that trust. You give that authority. So that authority is so imperative. So in addition to that, in addition to your Facebook, your social media, your activism, if that's a word,
your digital footprint.
Yes. So again, because right now you're sitting in a sandbox. So now we start doing
I'm under the sand.
And people
struggle.
So again, the goal is, hey, website's done, created, you're good, you're happy. We gave you something amazing. Now the next steps are this. But I always social media, all those platforms to put on there, digital listings, that helps your social footprint. And
how does a layman? I'm already running my company. I'm doing the sales. I've got to do the follow up. I've got to pay the employees. I got to do the schedule. How am I supposed to do that too?
I realized that when I was trying to get my floors done, I was trying to do the floors as well with the guy that I was going to hire. But I said, no. I'm going to do my own floors, go to work, come back, feed the kids, and do it. No. Guess what? We can't do it all.
Right.
So what I would do, I would always recommend, let me go to the subject matter expert, let me find someone to do it. And sometimes there's a saying in Spanish, it says, el barato te sale caro.
What that means, yes. Go ahead.
So the less you pay, the more you will wind up paying. And it's
the cheaper it is, the more expensive it becomes.
And,
yes.
I hate to be the bearer of that news, but it's just a fact.
But if you spent, what did you say, $4,000 on a website, and you've gotten zero from it within the first 3 months it's been out there, which is the new. That's what's like when it gets its first.
But how do we know? That's another thing.
Oh yeah. How do we know if you're not getting phone calls or anything?
Right. How do we know where there's something that please, guys, if you guys have a website today and you don't have this, shame on you and shame on the designer. Every website should have something called analytics. Why? Where is that traffic coming from? How good is my website? So when you say my website's just not working, I always ask the follow-up question is, how do you know? And they say, what do you mean? Well, how do you know it's not working? How do you know how many visitors are you getting? Where your visitors are coming from? This is another free tool that's provided by Google. Because again, it's very imperative for you to know the next steps versus you saying, I just don't want a new website. And this is what I guess makes me a little bit unique sometimes, providing that extra value and being able to support, hey, you know what, let's make sure we add this to make sure to see if it's working or not. We don't know all these efforts that we're doing on our website, on our social footprint. If it's working, I'm doing email marketing, I'm doing everything. Are people coming to my site and staying there? And then you can actually literally see their path going on your website.
Yeah. And you, somebody had said to me, what you might think is important to tell your client, they don't even bother to click on at all.
At all.
And so it's
those
really
images
important.
are beautiful. Guess what? And some people just find an image, put it up there, and guess what? And it's not doing anything for you. And even worse, let me tell you worse, people, it's just bad. People are just horrible. They use images and they don't label them correctly for SEO. That's sin.
Wow.
And it's normal, unfortunately.
And so you do charge a monthly fee for, anybody, not just you, but anybody in this world, and that's called SEO.
That's correct. Search engine optimization.
Okay. And if you don't have SEO going along with your website, you might as well just be standing out in the middle of the street with a sign that says, buy from me.
Exactly.
Because nobody will know nothing.
No, you don't need a name or nothing. Just buy from me. Well,
You know what's funny about this conversation is that the next process would come up would talk about Facebook ads and Google ads, which is also part of this whole digital world.
Right.
So it's like,
my Lord.
It's so much. It's just an amazing world, and I have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, Ray, please tell our listeners as we wind down now who you are, how they can reach you.
Okay. Well, my name is Raymond Torres. My phone number is 954-299-5310. My website is www.onset.media, not .com. Okay, so onset.media, and take a look at what we do. And we have forms in there. We have a layout of how the websites can be kind of broken into, and we kind of have not a a la carte section, but an area to see what comes with each package of the websites.
Right.
Perfect.
And then from there, we start the conversation, and we just take it to the next step. So I got people here and people outside of the country, and as well as people within, not Florida, outside the states that I do business with today.
Wonderful.
Great.
Well, thank you again for coming
My
on the
pleasure.
show. Dave, my partner for more than 20 years in life.
20
Thank you.
years. You're only 15 years old.
I know.
Negative five.
My husband and I have been married for 18 years, but we've been in love for more than 20, and I love him today. Thank you so much for
That's good to know.
filling
I
in
tell
for
you.
Robert in a more intimate way. Thank you so much. Robert, we miss you. Hope things listen, before I go, I want to just quickly talk about the Entrepreneurial Hour Conference. It is this coming October 25th at the Miramar Cultural Center from 8:30 to 2. Very important to come and get yourself registered. But for you businesses out there that really, really would like to not only impact county and big, we've got Rick Case Honda, we've got El Dorado, we've got the Sandy Michael from Broward County. We've got so many people coming to this. You're going to have an opportunity to meet and greet and network with people who are very impacting in our community in South Broward. So please don't miss out. Go to the website. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see it here. Unilatina.edu, the Entrepreneurial Hour Conference. Register. It's a donation, $15, $25 and $50, and that's just to come. And it's a donation that's going to go to the scholarship fund,
Nice.
so it's tax deductible.
Nice.
And you get you get lunch included, and we have a networking hour after
Wow.
that. So
That's awesome.
Uni Latina has done a great job. This is all them, and so it's really good. 2 great panels and a few speakers. That's number one. Number two, if you own a business, look online for sponsorship opportunities. They're going to give you a chance to be in the room
Nice.
during the entire time of the conference and the panels with your table. You can hand out, you'll be online, you're going to be able to speak, you're going to be able to give anything online and through the Entrepreneurial Hour to get more customers. And as this expands, we believe that everyone will walk away with some good business tips and ideas and maybe
Nice.
business for the future. So signing off, Stephanie Cates, Merchant Processing Solutions and Uni Latina International College. We wish you all adieu.
The Entrepreneurial Hour is a weekly radio talk show hosted by Stephanie Cates and Robert Goltz that includes local South Florida business owners, subject matter experts, and industry leaders that recognize the need to share their knowledge with other businesses to help them start and grow their business. Join us Tuesday mornings, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, online at Radio Unilatina USA. Follow us on social media at #The Entrepreneurial Hour.